Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, hanging out with these nerds.
Nathan Nerdark.
Nerdark is Ted.
Nerdark is Ryan.
And in RPG news, we divine the future with Wizards of the Coast.
Hey guys, jump down in the description below where you can sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So you guys had previously done your video with Scott Garibay, love him or hate him, speculating on what the future 2017 was going to look like from Wizards of the Coast. And funny enough, a little mission statement dropped, like all of 500, 800 words dropped, and it explains more or less a lot of what you guys had speculated on. We have some hard evidence of what they want to do moving forward.
It's really cool. There's some stuff that they touch on that we did talk about, and there's some stuff that they touched on that we didn't even talk about.
Yeah, Trapdoor Technologies was a company originally contracted by Wizards of the Coast to create a virtual tabletop, and that deal fell through. It never happened.
They fell through the trapdoor.
Pretty much. You know, my understanding.
I think they're a kobold mouth.
My understanding is they were under delivering on the product. They weren't making deadlines, so it really never made it. I don't even know if it made it to a beta, let alone out of a beta.
So they went the opposite of the business wisdom of under promise and over deliver to over promising and under delivering.
I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know what actually happened,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to bash that company. I'll leave that to you.
Yeah, I was making light, but you were looking at some things.
They moved forward and said, hey, we're not partnering with Watts anymore, but we believe in this product and we want to bring it to you guys. And they codenamed it Morning Glory or Morning Star, something along those lines. Morning something rather.
Morningstar maybe. I mean, D&D weapon.
And they went ahead and launched a Kickstarter. They raised a sizable amount, 72,000, but they're going after like 400 plus.
That's quite a deviation from how much they needed.
Yeah, so it didn't happen. In the meantime, Watts had made some other moves where they basically...
Wizards of the Coast, for those that are uninitiated.
Yeah, and people don't like that we call it Watts either. They think we should call it Watsy.
Yeah, no, it's...
Watsy.
We don't want to talk about any Watsies here.
It's Watts, it's Wizards, or Wizards of the Coast. That's my preference.
That's how we do it here on the East Coast, yo.
Yeah, there's lots of people that do
Okay,
that.
so a C can sound like an S or a K sound. So it's fine. Watts.
Yeah.
There, done.
No, they want a Z. They want the Z, though,
Well, that's
for some reason.
too bad. That's not English. They can call it whatever they like, but they don't have to get on us about it.
English. But anyway, either way, so that didn't happen. And they moved forward with different licensing deals. And those deals were with Fantasy Grounds, Roll20, which is really cool. So they kind of like filled the virtual space for a while. And apparently it was just really, appears that it's just a delaying tactic because...
A Trojan horse, if you will.
Yeah, well, they're bringing in a whole slew of talent in order to put together, we don't know what, they're not saying specifically, but...
Mentions of virtual reality is kind of talked about and things like that.
It sounds like they want to take the D&D properties and other games like Magic, the Gathering, and different things, and do some really cool things. Now, I had speculated way back when they had brought in the new president, what is his name?
Chris Cox.
Chris Cox. He had a background... He has a background with Microsoft and other digital companies and digital products. So I was like, I kind of felt like that they were making moves like this. And I had said it way back when and forgot about it. And then like, I guess they're doing Fantasy Grounds and whatever. But then, when they made this announcement, there is a slew of talent they're bringing in from serious companies to get the job done.
Yeah, what is it? The people from like Activision and Cryptid Studios. We've got
Warner Brothers.
From, Valve, BioWare, Dire Wolf, which I'm not familiar with, but it sounds cool.
Interactive Entertainment's a pretty big name, I believe. But they're talking about the Magic Online team is now included in this group, so...
Yeah, so it seems like they have like a digital think tank that is going to then like probably go to the different properties and figure out what they can do, what cool things that we would want as players, and bring it to us. And I will say too, like with their more recent moves, like with getting rid of the forums, moving to more of a Twitter base for things, they do seem like they really want to interact with us. And all the Unearthed Arcana that come out, which every month we get a new survey to fill out. So it seems like to me they really want the community and us, the gamers, to drive for the D&D and what we want from it.
And also be kind of data driven, because if they get all this feedback, well, that's data that they can feed back into what they're building. So the other interesting thing too that was specifically mentioned was just the concept, and they just spitballed it in this announcement, was the idea of like, maybe people would be into the idea of playing a planeswalker in an MMO sort of game, and like integrating some of the concepts from Magic the Gathering, but you're like one of the big bad planeswalker characters doing all kinds of arc magi cool stuff.
Well, planeswalkers are pretty awesome in Magic the Gathering lore. I know there's a lot of crossover between D&D and Magic, and it's only with recent that they've had any of the Magic digital downloads that you can do stuff with. So it looks like that they're looking to move that a little bit more forward.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much you've had your ear to the ground about the latest iterations of Magic, but they actually had Planeswalkers be a bigger part of the base game.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
so that's a thing that had been happening.
We've also heard rumors that there's going to be a couple more D&D Magic the Gathering crossovers. So that, I heard they've got 2 more planned. I don't know which ones, and right now to me it's just a rumor because of one of you guys actually brought it to our attention. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to see what they do, especially if they continue with the same vein that they have been, and that's we're just going to allow you to download it.
that would definitely be cool. I've always liked the digital stuff they've done previously. I used to actually like the digital Dragon and Dungeon magazine.
Yeah.
I found that it had useful tools. I love having a character builder that way.
Mm.
It's fun to play around with, so it'd be good to get that back. And as a DM, it really takes a lot of the work out of constructing encounters and adventures when you can go into the database and kind of just put everything together in one spot.
There is kind of something like that, like Dragon Plus. They created an app that functions kind of like a magazine with the like press releases and things like that. It's just I'm not in the habit of looking at it. Like I'm sure that there's cool and interesting stuff. I have the archive of it, the app on my phone. I don't. It's just not a thing I'm in the habit of looking at yet.
Yeah, and it doesn't have the digital features like D&D Insider used to have.
Yeah.
With actually like the character builder, encounter builder.
Right.
There was ways to tweak monsters. It was really cool for 4th edition. And if they can do something similar to that for 5th, that'd be cool. And, with all the talent they're bringing on, it sounds like maybe even, they definitely had some visions with Trapdoor Technologies for ideas that they wanted to do with a virtual tabletop. So, maybe they're like, well, you know what? We just can't rely on another company to do it. We're gonna build a team
internally.
that builds
Yeah.
it. But with that, what is your speculation? What do you think they're going to do with it? Are you excited? Do you care? You're like, no, pen and paper, rah. Let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
Check us out over at nerdarchy.com.
While there, don't forget to check out the store.
You can also tweet at us over on Twitter.
So until next time,
Stay nerdy.